Most people think making money is easy until they hit $100,000. Then reality hits. If you've been grinding for years and still haven't hit that milestone, this video is for you. By the end, you'll know why it feels impossible and exactly what to do to make your next $100,000 faster. Did you know the average entrepreneur takes 3 to 5 years just to see their first 6 figures in profit? It's not a lack of effort, it's a lack of strategy. The first $100,000 is the hardest part of any financial journey because you are fighting against gravity, old habits, and a system that isn't designed for you to win quickly. Why does the first $100,000 feel so impossible? It starts with the psychological barriers that most people never talk about. Fear of failure is the obvious one, but the real killer is self-doubt. When you are starting from zero, every mistake feels like a catastrophe. You don't have a cushion to fall back on, so your brain treats every lost dollar like a threat to your survival. Then there is imposter syndrome. You look at people on social media who seem to be making millions effortlessly, and you wonder why your progress is so slow. You start to think you aren't cut out for this, but here is the truth. They are showing you their highlight reel while you are living your behind the scenes. Comparing your beginning to someone else's middle is a recipe for stagnation. The financial reality is even tougher. Most people starting out suffer from a total lack of leverage. You are likely trading time for money. Whether you are working a job or freelancing, there is a hard cap on how much you can earn because you only have 24 hours in a day. At this stage, your audience is small, your customer base is tiny, and your cash flow is inconsistent. You are basically pushing a massive boulder uphill. Every inch of progress requires maximum effort, and then come the common mistakes. The biggest one is spreading yourself too thin. You try to start a YouTube channel, a dropshipping store, and a real estate portfolio all at the same time. This is what we call chasing shiny objects. Instead of digging one deep well to find water, you are digging 10 shallow holes and wondering why you're still thirsty. Focusing on one thing until it works is the only way to break through the initial resistance. When you divide your attention, you divide your results. To reach that first major milestone, you need to understand the key principles of wealth building strategies. The first is the leverage. True wealth isn't built by working harder. It's built by scaling skills, products, or services. You need to move away from selling your time and start building assets that work while you sleep. This could be digital products, automated systems, or a brand that carries weight even when you aren't active. Leverage is the force multiplier that turns a small amount of effort into a massive result. Next is the power of compounding effort. Most people quit right before the breakthrough because they don't see immediate results. But wealth building is like a snowball. At first, it's small and moves slowly, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow and gains momentum. Consistent daily action beats short bursts of motivation every single time. Imagine 2 people. One invests $100 every single day without fail, while the other tries to dump $1,000 into the market sporadically when they feel inspired. Over 10 years, the consistent investor wins by a landslide because they harness the power of habit and time. You also need to master smart risk-taking. There is a massive difference between gambling and investing in yourself. Gambling is putting money into things you don't understand, hoping for a lucky break. Smart risk-taking is spending money on a course, a mentor, or a tool that increases your earning potential. Your greatest asset during the journey to your first $100,000 is your own brain. If you increase your value to the marketplace will naturally pay you more. Now let's get into the tactical steps to break through. Step 1 is to audit your current money flow. You cannot manage what you do not measure. You need to track every single dollar coming in and every single dollar going out. Identify the bottlenecks. Are you spending too much on things that don't provide a return? Are you earning less than you should because you're afraid to ask for a raise or increase your rates? A cold, hard look at your bank statement is usually the wake-up call most people need. Step 2 is to increase your income strategically. You can't just save your way to $100,000 on a minimum wage salary. The math simply doesn't work. You need to find ways to bring in more cash. This could be through freelancing, starting a side hustle, or launching an online business. The goal here is to create gap money, the difference between what you earn and what you spend. The bigger that gap, the faster you hit your goal. Step 3 is to automate and scale. Once you have a steady stream of income, you need to remove yourself from the equation as much as possible. Use automation tools for your marketing, delegate repetitive tasks to virtual assistants, and set up passive income streams. This is where you transition from being a worker to being an owner. Step 4 is to reinforce your mindset. This is the hardest part. You have to stay disciplined when you don't feel like it. You have to embrace temporary discomfort for long-term gain. Think of every successful person you admire. They all had a dark period where they worked in silence with no recognition. That is where the first $100,000 is actually made, in the quiet moments when nobody is watching. So what happens after you hit that magic number? A massive psychological shift occurs. Your confidence, clarity, and motivation skyrocket. Suddenly, you aren't worried about how you'll pay rent next month. This mental freedom allows you to think bigger. You start to see opportunities that were invisible to you when you were in survival mode. It becomes much easier to take bigger risks because you have a safety net. If a $5,000 investment fails, it doesn't ruin you anymore. This allows you to play the game with a winning mindset rather than a not losing mindset. The financial opportunities also change. With $100,000, you can access larger investments with higher returns. You can buy real estate, invest in private equity, or scale your business to a level that was previously out of reach. The next $100,000 always comes faster than the first because your systems are already in place. You've already done the hard work of building the foundation. Now you're just adding floors to the building. This is the stage where financial freedom starts to feel like a tangible reality rather than a distant dream. However, you must be careful because there are common pitfalls after hitting this milestone. The most dangerous one is lifestyle inflation. As soon as people see a six-figure balance, they want to buy the luxury car, the designer clothes, and the expensive vacations. They end up right back where they started, trading their time for a lifestyle they can barely afford. Another trap is overconfidence. You might start thinking that success is guaranteed and stop doing the things that made you successful in the first place. Never neglect your learning or your skill growth. The world changes fast, and if you stop evolving, your income will eventually follow suit. To avoid these traps, keep your expenses low and continue to treat your capital as a tool for growth rather than a reward for hard work. Finally, let's discuss actionable lessons you can implement now. Check your income and expenses this week. Be brutal. Find and fix leaks. Second, pick a scaling leverage mechanism. Pick a digital product or high-value skill and dive in. Third, work consistently for 30 days. No excuses, no breaks. 30 days to prove you can persevere. Earning your first $100,000 is a personal shift, not just a financial objective. You must become disciplined, strategic, and resilient. It eliminates excuses and requires complete life responsibility. This procedure transforms you into someone worth more than money. My challenge? Take one move today toward your first $100,000. Avoid overthinking. Do one thing. It may be opening a brokerage account, writing a pitch email, or canceling that needless subscription. Do it now. Whatever. Please share that one step below. Writing it down holds you accountable to the community and yourself. Please like and subscribe if helpful. Instead of watching videos, make your next $100,000 by acting. You have the map, tools, and motivation. Only execution remains. The path ahead is difficult yet worthwhile. Next, I'll explain how to transform $100,000 into $1 million faster than you think. After laying the groundwork, construct the empire. Keep going, stay focused, and see you next time.